Yes.
I'll read the introduction. I would like to call the meeting of the St. Louis County Board of Zoning Adjustment to order. The board members present today are Janet Herman, Chairman, and Angelia Bills, Member. The Department of Planning staff members are Debbie Nesbitt, Mel Wilson, and Doug May. Excuse me. First, I offer into the record the affidavit of publication pertaining to today's meeting, November 4th, 2020. The board hereby takes official notice of and admits into evidence on the record the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance, Chapter 1003, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974 as amended, and Chapter 1004, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974 as amended. Next, I would call for a motion to approve the minutes of the previous BZA meeting of October 21st, 2020.
So moved.
And I second. The hearing procedure is informal, but is a teleconference and is recorded. The planning staff will read each request into the record. The petitioner will be unmuted, state their name, and make a brief presentation to the board explaining the reason and hardship for the requested variance. The board will not consider financial hardships. Board members may ask questions to clarify the facts. When the board is satisfied with the material presented, the chairperson will then ask if there is anyone in favor or opposition to the request. To speak, you click the hand next to your name. If any comments were submitted, the staff will read them into the record. Before a call for the vote, the petitioner may request a continuance in order to bring in additional documentation. The board may also request a continuance to gather additional information or for a visit to the site. Once comments have been heard, the chairperson will call for a vote, and at that time, the discussion has ended. No further discussion is permitted. The board will generally make a decision today, but since there are only 2 members at this time, if the board's vote is split 1-1, the request will be deemed denied. If a variance is approved, the petitioner has 6 months from the end of the state of emergency to obtain the necessary permits or establish the use requested, or the variance will expire. The petitioner or any interested party has the right of appeal to the St. Louis County Circuit Court. This must be done within 30 days of the decision. After the decision we make today, your paperwork will be mailed to the petitioner.
So we did hear from the county counselor's office regarding 118-20 Kelly Johnson, and they determined that, I guess, Debbie, that the petition is null. The request is null because they determined she isn't the property owner.
Correct.
Yes, I was going to read that into the record. So
Oh, go ahead, Janet.
yeah, I was just going to read 118-20. I was going to read into the record. For the record, we're dismissing this as Ms. Johnson does not own the property anymore. She would be asking for the variance.
Okay. We'll continue to 139-20 McBride Barrel Land Company, requesting an exception to the side yard regulations for the purpose of constructing a 12-foot high retaining wall with a fence for the proposed Arbors at Summit subdivision at 340, 348, 358, 368, and 390 Summit Road, maintaining all side yards of 0 feet in lieu of 6 feet as required by the R3 Residence District regulations and the density development procedure of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. Okay, Mike, I think I've unmuted you to begin your presentation. Mike?
I'm here.
You can go ahead and make the request. It sounds like you might need to turn your volume down, Mike. Something's feeding back.
Quite the echo.
Is that better?
Yes.
Madam Chair, I'm getting an echo on this. Are you?
Yes, now we are again.
Mike, you're appearing
And I
on
don't
the
know
list.
why.
You're appearing on the attendee list a couple times. Wait, Maybe it's gone now. Speak again. Mike?
Can you hear me now?
You're an echo again. You're an echo.
I apologize.
Try now, Mike.
Can you hear me?
Yes, that seems better.
Okay. For the record, my name is Mike Faulkner. I'm Vice President of Sterling Engineering with offices at 5055 New Baumgartner Road in St. Louis County, 63129. I'm here tonight asking for your favorable consideration for our variance request for the side yard. And unfortunately, I can't see anything or on here, so I'm hoping that you can. If you look at the exhibits that we submitted, the one exhibit has two drawings, one which is a cross section, section AA. The other to the left is a site view of the grading plan. And the reason for our request for the side yard variance is due to the topographical restraints that we have, that in order to build the subdivision, we need to build a retaining wall because of the grade. Now, what we did, if you look on the left side of that exhibit where the retaining wall is, we did move that retaining wall in towards the subdivision so it would not require an additional variance for rear yard, and that only side yard would be required. But our hardship is the topographic of the site. In order to build the subdivision requires that we need to build a wall that would traverse across lots 5 through 9.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's, I
And
think it's showing a red line on what we're looking at. And that is, goes into Jennifer Kendall's property, it looks like. It doesn't go into it, but I mean that it backs up to her property.
Correct.
Okay, so the retaining wall, is the topography so steep there going into the proposed subdivision?
Yes, ma'am. And that's the reason why we're required to have that wall. Now, we've got the wall will be 29 feet off of the common property line.
Oh, okay. So between her property and that red line of the retaining wall is common ground now. Okay,
Well, no, that will be lot area, but it will be how far the retaining wall will be off of the common property line. There'll be a 3-to-1 slope to the top of that wall, and that will be vegetated with native materials or non-maintenance type materials.
okay, great. Questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition to this request? Please hit the hand next to your name.
There's no one.
Okay, 139-20, I'm going to vote to approve the variance as advertised. And the hardship for the wall is the topography, the steep topography.
I second it.
Okay, your paperwork will Okay,
Okay, continuing, 140-20. Richard Luer requests an exception to the rear yard regulations for the purpose of constructing a deck addition and a roof over the existing 14 by 14 foot deck at 2775 Valley Brook Drive, maintaining a rear yard of 7.5 feet in lieu of 15 feet, as required by the R2 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance and PEU Ordinance 22,291. Okay, Mr. Lure, you're unmuted to give your presentation.
Okay, can you guys hear me all right?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay, so actually, I'm not even going, I guess the canopy is going over the original deck, which was 14 by 14. And then the deck I'm adding on just to the, I guess to the right of it as you're standing on the deck isn't even going to the end of the house. So I'm not even getting anywhere near the property line, but all I'm really doing is adding a canopy roof onto the original 14 by 14 and then just going over about 8 to 10 feet to the east side.
Mhm. And so you're just continuing the line of the deck that's there before already. But
Yes,
what's behind you there? It says flood study. Is there what's behind your property?
there's a lake with a fountain in it.
Okay. Oh, I think I did see that on one of the pictures.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I don't have any other questions. Oh, yes. Now I remember seeing it now. Oh, Angelia, do you have any other questions?
So basically the overhang is just for weather protection.
Yes. And it's not going over the entire deck. It's just going over the original deck was 14 by 14. It's not even going over the whole deck.
Okay. That's all I had.
Okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition to this request? Please hit the hand by your name.
We don't have any other attendees.
Oh, there aren't? Okay.
Hearing none, 140-20, I vote to approve the variance as advertised.
Okay. I'll second that. And the hardship I get, I don't know if there's hardship exactly, but there's really no one that you're obstructing. It's just
Correct.
going for the lake. So maybe the ducks. Okay. Well, we'll mail you your paperwork.
Okay, when do you think I'll get that? Probably a couple days or probably early next week?
Debbie?
Yes, it'll go out tomorrow.
Okay. All right. I don't need to stay on the call, right?
No,
You
not
can-
unless you want to
you can
listen
leave.
into the rest of them.
No, it's okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Mhm.
141-20 Eric Robinson has been withdrawn, so we'll continue to 142-20 Susan Schnoring. Request an exception to the side yard regulations for the purpose of constructing a room addition at 10035 Courtwick Circle, maintaining a side yard of 6 feet in lieu of 10 feet as required by the R2 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. I actually don't see anyone here for this petition. There are no more attendees.
Well, I guess maybe we better continue this to the next time. I don't know. Looks like just a little bit of it is over. But we don't know what their hardship is. I guess we better continue this till next time. So 142-20, I'm going to, we'll put it on the docket for 2 weeks from now.
I second it.
All right, and that's it, right? Oops.
Right, that's the end of the agenda.
Okay,
Okay.
well, took longer for us to get on.
I know, right? Okay, well, thank you, guys.
All right, we'll see you guys
Thank-
in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks. Okay.
Going to my happy hour.